Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back once again. It is me, Molt. So happy to be here with you guys today. We are still in Finland, as you can see, still in my hotel room recording. Gonna be here till the 17th because there's a Clash Royale tournament that's gonna be streamed on YouTube. You guys definitely need to check that out. But today I'm gonna be talking to you guys about spawner decks and about how to defeat them or at least draw with them because they can be pretty frustrating. I lose to them and beat them about the same ratio. It really just depends on your starting hand and their starting hand, if they can get both spawners on both sides and whatnot. But I'm going to start off with a loss, showing you guys me losing against a spawner deck, and maybe talking about what we could have done a little bit better, so on and so forth. And then we're going to jump into some wins, and I'm going to talk to you all about what we did there to make it through that. So, yeah, I'll be back with you guys with that first loss, okay? Well, guys, the loss that I wanted to show y'all in, like, real gameplay, I can't show you anymore, so I'm actually going to show y'all one right here against Nick that I played earlier. We did a friendly match. I didn't know he was using it or anything, and as you can see from that little thing, I did end up losing against him right here. So I'm using a deck that has we'll just talk about the game list. So right here, I freeze, guys. It's always dangerous to freeze your hog when you don't have something else with it, because if you freeze and you take out the goblins that he has, and you're not going to have to deal with all that stuff coming back. But we were able to arrow that and start off with a pretty good lead. So a lot of times, guys, you're going to have to try and get it to where they can't have both things out at the same time. So right there, we're going to go ahead and fireball. If you can get his tower, a troop, and the spawner, then you're going to be looking pretty good. It appears that he doesn't have arrows. All that he has is a poison spell. So we're going to be able to take advantage of that with these minions. He pulled out his poison spell there to see if he wanted to use it, and now he's just going to drop it off on the tower with the troops that are down there currently. So it's not going to do too much to our Dark Prince. I think that it would have been better if he'd waited to use it against the minions. But right here, we're going to go ahead and shoot our Goblin Barrel over there. It's going to get a little bit distracted. And then we're going to have to arrow again right here. We missed the first bunch. That was bad because I tried to hit the Barbarian hut as well, or the Barbarian spawner, which ended up messing that up. So right here you can see we are a little bit in the lead, but that building is still out there getting super annoying. Now he's got his skeletons ready for that counter over there. And we don't have anything to push with our Prince. So obviously the Prince wasn't the best defense for two Barbarians, but that was all that we had at the time. So here he goes again, dropping off his Spirit Goblin spawner back there, his Goblin hut, and we're going to go ahead and fireball, get a Goblin, get the tower, and get the hut. And as you can see, we're pulling into the lead right here. But the thing about spawner decks, guys, is that they don't really shine until the last minute. Because now he has double elixir, so he can just start throwing down spawns, etc., etc. So one of the best ways to deal with it, guys, is to have arrows and fireball. I think that he ends up using about 4 poison spells in this, which do a good deal of damage. Right here, we're going to go ahead and fireball, and we didn't know that he was going to be dropping off those minions, so we weren't lucky enough right there. But we are still in the lead again, guys, and there's another poison spell right there. So that's actually doing the majority of the damage to the tower. I think it might have even been 5 of them by the end of this match that were there doing damage. So you can't really do anything about poison spell. Obviously, it's going to come out. Right here, we're able to defend with the minion horde because again he doesn't have that available, and we're going to go ahead and fireball, get the tower, and get a Spirit Goblin just in case we end up pushing from here. We got to defend a little bit with this guy down here, and we had to get to our Goblin Barrel, but we ended up not being able to. So the biggest thing there, guys, is what I could have done better was been a little bit more patient with my arrows and my fireball, and also push the other lane. I didn't push the other lane at all. Pushing the other lane is very important because it makes them not be able to put down the cards that they want to. If you can get them to where they have one spawner on one side and another spawner on the other side, then they're going to be in trouble. It's not going to be that successful. So let's go ahead and jump into 2 victories for you guys to show you all some strategies that I did against spawners that actually ended up winning, okay? Here's the most recent one, guys. I lost to a Golem earlier, and I was like, hey, why don't I throw a Golem in my deck, see how that works? So we've got the Golem and the 2 Princes over here on our side. And the Golem is going to work fairly well against spawners because of his splash damage when he blows up. Same with the Giant Skeleton. Giant Skeleton is a great counter to spawner decks, guys. Now right here, he's getting ready to drop off his little thing right there, his Spirit Goblin hut, and he's going to change his mind. He's going to be like, nope, I got to put down these Barbarians, which is perfect for us. So he's going to drop down his, actually he's not doing anything right now. He's going to have to switch to his arrows. Now he's going to drop off his barbs, and we're going to go ahead and zap, do a good amount of damage to them because they just took splash damage from that golem. And then our baby dragon is going to do the rest of that damage. So we're looking pretty good right there. The golem is obviously going to get to that tower because most of the time people don't put their huts too close because they don't want them to get destroyed, because if they get destroyed, they're in trouble. So if it's far enough back, then we're going to be able to get the golem in there, and he's going to do good work. So right here, we're pushing again. We just got to stay active. You got to stay active against spawner decks. You have to make them use cards out of order that they don't want to use. This right here is the first time that we're seeing his 3 Musketeers. I was a little bit worried. Didn't know what we were going to do to counter them. He's got a whole bunch of stuff coming at us right here. So we're going to go ahead and arrow, and then we are going to drop off our Prince right in the middle here, and then we're going to zap, and that's going to stun them long enough. And those 3 Musketeers, a couple Barbarians, and some Spear Goblins were all halted. Very good right there. So a Princess, again, is another great card to have to counter the spawner decks. Now, obviously, a lot of you guys probably don't have Princess because you're not, you haven't just gotten one. It's very hard to get sometimes when you're not paying and buying gems and whatnot. So if you don't have the Princess, guys, then a Bomber is a great counter. Throw that Bomber in there, have it behind. It's going to work really well against spawner decks. So right here, we're just going to try and defend this left side. Not too sure why he gave up on that right side. I guess he just wanted to try and protect it a little bit. We're going to drop off our golem right there, make everything target that. Now he's got his ladies over there shooting at us. We're going to go ahead and zap them, and then we are actually going to arrow them as well, take them out as they take out our baby dragon, and we are going to be looking pretty fine right there. Now we're going to drop off our dragon. A dragon is a great counter to the spawner deck, guys, because it one-shots minions, or not minions, it one-shots spear goblins, and it does great splash damage to the barbarian. So if you have a bomber and a dragon, you're going to be looking pretty good against spawner decks. Now, obviously, if you don't run into spawner decks that much, then you don't really have a problem or anything to worry about. So the Dark Prince works fairly well against spawner decks, only like in scenarios like this, where he's got a whole bunch of barbarians, and our Dark Prince is just hitting through it. So right there, we arrow, we mess up a little bit. We weren't able to hit our, those ladies, but time is up. We were able to get one tower down and defend both of ours. Now, we've got one more to show you guys, and hopefully you guys can learn a little bit about this. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about stuff that's not happening in the gameplay and stuff that is happening in the gameplay, and just things that I do in general to try and help against spawner decks. Alright, so here's another one against spawner decks, guys. Another thing that I didn't mention, the poison spell works amazing against spawner decks. You just drop it off on both of them, you're done, and it's going to do a good amount of damage to the tower and to those things. But right here, we're going to be rolling with that same strategy that we used earlier on. And this guy was actually fairly high up, I think, using his spawner deck. So we're going to go ahead, put a little bit of pressure on him at this point. I didn't know up until now what his strategy was, what he was using. So we're able to get up in here with these minions and that Dark Prince, and we're able to do a good amount of damage to everything that he's got over there. So we're going to go ahead and drop off our Prince. That Spear Goblin is going to die. We're going to take out that Musketeer before she gets off 2 shots, I think. And then we're going to be able to get up over here and go, yeah, take this out. We're going to go ahead and drop a freeze off so that we can take out that Ice Wizard as well as that cannon. And then we're going to get up in here. He wanted to drop off something, but he knew it would die. So we're going to get that Prince in there, and he's going to do a good amount of damage to that tower for us. So at this point in time, I'm just kind of hanging out, seeing what we're doing. He hasn't been able to touch our tower yet. He's over there freaking out. So he's going to go ahead and drop off his spawner on the opposite side because that means I have to defend, which means I can't really push too well on the right. I'm going to go ahead and fireball both of those, take out a good amount of health from those. And again, guys, if you had a poison spell, you could drop it off over there on the left, and it would do really good. So right here on the right, guys, he put his barb hut too far over. So what are we going to do? We're going to send our hog in there. He's going to get off 2 hits, and that tower is extremely low. At this point, I know that he doesn't have arrows, but he did get lucky right there with that placement of the princess at the exact time. I'm ignoring this Ice Wizard over here on the right and getting pretty frustrated at this point, honestly, because it's such a passive strategy, and I just don't like passive strategies. I like strategies where it's not cookie cutter. Like, I like strategies where you have to know how to react to things. Like this, it's just like, okay, I'm going to put this in the back corner. I'm going to put this here. That's pretty much all I'm going to do. I just don't really like those kinds of strategies. I don't think that they're that entertaining. But again, like I said, I do use the spawner decks like this if I'm facing a lot of mortars and I have to defend against them, because they're great when it comes to defending against mortars. So we're going to go ahead and freeze all that right there and get our Dark Prince up in here. I'm going to arrow, do a good amount of damage to everything that's over there, take it all out. 30 seconds left. What are we going to do? We're going to get that fireball ready, and we are going to shoot it. Do some damage to the cannon, as well as one spare goblin and the hut and those barbarians that are coming out. You got a little bit lucky there with that placement of that poison spell, but thankfully our minions were able to get up in here and do some damage. Now we're just going to kind of stall at the bridge for the next 10 seconds there. Again, guys, the biggest things against spawner decks is making them put things down out of order and catching them off guard, pushing opposing ways, etc., etc. Go ahead and arrow right here, take all that out, and we're going to do good. So we're going to have that victory, that W right there. I hope that you guys learned a little bit. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure that you leave a like on it for me. Yeah, let me know what other kind of strategies you're trying to figure out how to counter. I have some videos on how to counter the mortar, on how to counter the expo, and things like that on my channel. Just search Molt Mortar and you'll find it. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all very much. You mean the world to me. I will see y'all in the next episode, all right? Peace.